For the next battle. Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle. Round one. Fight.
This one is today Christmas party. Eat the food, and then if not she cannot eat, tell the teacher. Maybe someone cannot eat this one, the haha. Maybe there. Maybe the peanut only cannot eat. So everyone can eat. Touch it.
They shall never guide me. Round one. Fight. Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, I'm not give me see, I'm sorry. Is there a miscommunication here? Okay. Well,
Round
if you don't
one.
mind, please. Make sure you
Fight.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. You know it. I know you. I'll be solid.
先，
喂，唞下啦，
我去做。
唞下啦，病人。
有冇人識打呢啲㗎？你哋嗰啲 rank
邊有你咁 deep 㗎？我想去鐵拳王都未必識打啊！啲人
嚇？
全部都唔識解呢個天上天下㗎，喺最高。
Get ready for
Bingo.
the next battle. Get ready for the next battle.
都就唔嚟。 咪呀！真係
Get ready for the next battle.
幫我波兒啊！我講冇得用前手拳算咗。
Get ready for the next battle. Fight.
just how it's going to be. Well, and they said,
I've heard people basically it seems like the rest of the industry is Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft. You see them too. Why is this? Games that actually we've got the dozen. Turn
I do. I think it's and I don't think
Wow.
that the GTA is
Không
should
à.
be as a frame of reference for any other than GTA.
sounds like
How that goes. I am so happy buying video games that are ridiculous. And I think the reason, like, there's like 10 why, but I'm glad to see it finally happen. This is a relief. Job.
Get ready for the
Inflation
next
makes
battle.
Right? I mean, when we're all about the old days of video games, we're only 100. Like, this is inevitable. But the rate at which it's happening nowadays is just, it's a little too fast.
Like to whom?
Also, something else. If you can't, then you're isn't going to have a market. It's just that simple.
Wires, it's only 52% actually. That's 9.7
A lot of people.
without a shot. And that's
Of course.
certainly inside the store. Because the reality we need to dive
Well,
into
and it's also, it's like the first console game, like, it doesn't have
Get ready
Buying
for
is-
the next battle.
one of miles or years of FPS has games. PS5. Yes, is that another position?
Round one. Fight.
London.
Yep. Good one. Good segue. Wow.
Then, they basically fucking
Cancel.
for a personal example, never mind.
With the current model, it's 50 under. I don't find it. Way too much. Games are wasted. You have to pay more money, right? Yeah.
So,
Of course. Big surprise.
they make
It's a lot of money. Wow.
they've already pushed things beyond what I mentioned, so if you it's wait, we're going
Amazing.
Round
Relax. Fight.
That's fucking 25%. That's crazy.
This comes not come out, but
So that's
it went 20%. That means that more games are selling price.
Yep.
All the costs
easy to predict. It's also people don't want to highly invest in the game. And I think like in a lot of games are like really long.
有咩陰道？
Bite-sized games.
都假啲㗎喎，
係嘛？
太熟咯。
Just overall,
都係嘅。
they get more games. Yeah, exactly, right? And so, like, if you buy a game for like $20 or $15, then I think if you're less invested in it and worried about playing it all the time and finishing it, people spend on it. And so it makes people more like better. It makes them feel better about spending money in these books. I think that's what happens. And I think another big factor is that there were a lot of AAA games this year.
Round 3.
And like that's also a big factor. You look at those games, have a lot, but a lot of the games are bad. Yeah.
係咁啊！
Yeah, I mean, 10, 70, 60, 10, 7, 25, 15, 20, 7, 75. That's a lot of cheap games. That's a huge.
Round 1.
Weigh that up to steam machine. Also, that's a steam machine. Well, that's not that.
哇！
Yes. Now it's fucking free play games. Like all these fun games she played. They make it free. And that's why I think we're doing more games. But then having things in general. Because like really $70 and then that's really hard to ask.
Well, surely that's where some say investors everyone's saying, look, that's maybe better than this. It's cool. Because you take away it, you actually companies
Or it's also like somebody sees Silk Song with they look at it and they're like, oh, it's like $20. Okay, yeah, I'll try it. But like if they see a game it's doing or even though it's popular, they see it's 70. A 70 $20 purchase. And so you're dealing so like you know this that it's easy to trust and come to the game. Because like by the time you get to 100, you're shocked what happened that you needed to spend money, now you're back up to 0.
It's actually right. You see, regardless of price, the majority of game players it's quite expensive. Like I said, just one just
So those are right. Like a lot of those video games now are free, and like some people are mono gamers for these free, so it's hard to.
咁樣擋唔切。
the same. Probably games.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Obviously, that's subject to. Sure,
We get more. Yeah.
not if you are only interested in that. Just get me. Use that too.
得
They got him out. Yeah.
Get ready for the next battle.
I feel like it's not a big. Like a lot of my friends probably play about that many too, like plus minus one, I'd say. Yeah, I mean a lot of people going around playing. There's been a trend where more and more people play singular big game all the time, and I think that's what's been happening a lot. Is that like people get invested, like the same as like people. There are people who are not gamers, but they play World of Warcraft every single day, all day. And they've been doing that for the last 10 years. I used to be one. So for me, I see playing a singular game.
A new game. Two games in one. Yeah.
Wow.
Even if we're allowed to since then, showcase
Probably 8% does, right?
yeah, and of course it's minorities as well.
I actually haven't seen you in so long because I haven't played Star Wars. That, like, I haven't fun. I really haven't fun. Man.
都 high 到我。
Is he just throwing shit at me? Do you remember all the developers that installed their name? They were like can't just release the game whenever you want. You have to tell us when it's going to come out. You can't just release it right now. Well, what about our day?
All I told you was not right. See, this chart doesn't just
Yeah.
That's this shit's you just play it. You just log on. That's it. That's crazy. So why if somebody needs to go and spend all this money to play a game if you could play a game?
people are estimating 7. Regardless of anything. That's why they do certain collector's editions exist. Absolutely true.
Like 100. Ridiculous.
These companies, hands up.
The console players, they're ostracized from having games. The game is good enough based on how it's played. I think that a slice of pie is still indicative of the fact that it came from an apple pie. So when we take a sample of people, then that representative sample being used to create a larger trend. So are there going to be games more popular on a console than PC and vice versa? Sure. But I think the general trend is that if a video game is like doing very well on console, and if it's PC, it's probably also like I've never really heard of a game that's like a massive failure on one console, but it's like doing great on another. Generally, and this is
กดตอมอยู่
right? So like the numbers might be wildly different. Like for example, Tekken is much more popular on console, for example, or FIFA. FIFA is another good example. But I bet the player base for FIFA and the people that are regularly playing FIFA, and let's say on console it started at 1 million, and on PC it started at 100,000. I would expect that by the middle of the year, if console went down to 500,000, then PC would also go down to 50,000 respectively. And I think that's generally what you would do. So a representative sample is a numerical guide, but it should be used as an inference point to decide where the data is going. Does that make sense? No way! Never been to the store? Top 10%. Sure. Wow. That's yes. That's why everybody's is that everybody complains about them. That's the problem. They still buy them even complain. You think economy? economy will increasingly become more polarized, where people that don't have a lot of money will continue to have increasingly less money, and people that do have money will increasingly generate more money and more wealth. Like this is not a fucking prediction, a middle prediction. You can just watch the trends that happen in the last 10 years. My God, man,
Fight.
that's great. For you. That's right. That's what happens with free-to-play games. This is why every play game ends up catering to whales. Is because imagine you don't vote, but somebody else gets $5,000 a year. That's a lot of votes, and that's exactly what happens. Why should you pay $70 for a game just disappointed when you can buy 47 indie games for that money? Exactly. First edition. I'm sorry, but like, yeah, you're gonna have that. I would say the 30% of people or something like that being really, a very high friction transaction. But I would say that 50% of people, and this is an era, right? This is not a racist country. Think about like everything. You're selling a game and you're able to monetize 30% of all cultures in the world. Well, you're gonna have a hard time making a lot of money. That's the way it is.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yep. There we go. That's where they're going to use it.
Get ready for the next battle.
If you can't go a viable product, then you deserve to be in the
Round one.
That's the way it is. That's life. You don't like it? You think it sucks? It's not fair? Let's say you're right about everything. You still go out of business.
It's all over. You can actually see
I will say that I think it's a lot better.
So don't worry about thinking about it.
Yep. Oh, not so good, huh?
You know, basically, they write off at the same time that they
I just pretty glad that the prices are going down. Like, I was actually pretty worried that this wasn't going to happen. But if I look at this graph, right, I mean, this is a crazy decline in price for video games. Now, I think paying $50-$60 for a game that I should play hours, like, I mean, video, I like that. And I always like what we're doing. PUBG's gay.
Dude.
They could be. And the only thing I'm probably about I think a lot of people do. The hardware prices are going up. How can I play cheap games? Well, you've got to buy consoles, right? And this is what's going to happen. Is that console prices are a lot more stable than the price of PC. So you have like the cost of right now the RAM. And then,
好，
then
你毀咗佢噶嘛係嘛？係咯，我知啊，我見到個兜嘢用出咗嚟，我知應該係毀。
It's not treated, again, aggregate asset that's factored in the price of the console dynamic. And so that's so we put together, yeah, of course. So,
冇嘢嘛，
so that console, I think that they increase
唔好打波咯，以後好嘛？
right? But that's so I wouldn't really expect that. So yeah, that's at least good about it. But I think. You guys remember the good old days where you could just turn off your brain and play fucking game games and have 18 matchups against those cats. You just don't like it. Well, you're wrong. You just have it's like no shortage of our character. We'll start this thing off with viewers to based on Twitter. Probably they're playing but she's actually the character today. But first, I want to talk to you about today's sponsor, guys. I went on vacation, and I also want to talk about vacation results. Vacation trip. Really just not happy. I think it's out and ever since then, I've been tracking cards like these.
咩㗎？真係醜八怪啊！你係咩㗎？
打
佢打得好好喎隻 C， 好壓迫感啊！我就呢啲啊，
嗯，
又唔同我打，佢贏一盤跟住我追翻，跟住佢唔同我打。
And look at this little achievement, this little janky colorful coming. Yeah, like a sprint guy. Good stuff. So every time I always tell you guys, I like to keep this channel a place fun and enjoyment about issues, have a laugh. I'm sorry. So today I'm different. We have on this channel. And so some of the things that I would make you guys quite my advice. I just want everybody to say what I have to say because it's ill intent towards not like me, but not because I am very And, you know, I think that I should be able to articulate what's about my heritage, my ancestry, and my deep, and I like to consider
What?
know by now. Australia.
可以藍色。
Yeah. Government to absolute scumbag, EOS, they wounded 40 plus and obviously
Get ready for the next battle.
And part of the thing that has burdened me so much has been this from Australia. Frustrating. It's been the response. $50, you know, experts on education. So that, of course, this one
Get ready for the next
is
battle.
extreme. Said he tried to guns and far right.
Round one.
And obviously, I have a there is no incentive actually for the Australian politicians or Western politicians in general to prioritize the safety and security and well-being of their actual nation-born but since I one of the issues that has and when you West either way, and really events like the foundation visit force us to have some very unusual things about what's happening in Australia. Shit, nine. People that I go is that need to mass counter events. And not that and the average synthesize is to hold them opinions or erase and that, my friends, Australia does have a habit of violence. The Australians of violence did not be
Round one. Fight.
國家大廈，我見有個國大緊就好多跟住話西圈，打咩無咯有冇啊？人爛咗，得啦，辣辣喎，辣辣點樣？好辣辣喎！食得啊！搞陣，收翻埋先。
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle. Round one. Fight.
我
A symptom of a deeper problem tied to the destruction of Australian culture to diffusing Australian
硬硬嚟，
somebody else's culture in
你夠硬嚟啦！
夾硬嚟，
tolerance of all. And I am very you come to my country and we let you into my country, you should be to be the best that you can be. You wear our flag, but I have our laws and you make my country better. You don't come to my country and sit people up on the beach on a nice afternoon when you're just coming back to their lives. I'm sorry it's not listening. I feel like I was just great, but I feel like I'm watching the slow choking death of my country, and there's nothing that I can do. So I posted this on Instagram as well, but obviously I can't even tell anymore, and other Australians feel like I feel like this one. I felt like in near age over the last couple of days, I have about people who Australia for one flag, one people, one cultural identity, one value system, one legal system, and now, yes, it's nice and good, but it is so private. People have created their own parallel societies that outside Australian society have ethnic communities where it's they're in your own country as your own restrictions. You don't have to go to these places and you feel deeply and inherently uncomfortable. We systems that they try to avoid and have loyalties to anything and anyone but Australia and Australians. I obviously have a ton of friends and family who still live in Australia in cities, but particularly my friends who live in Melbourne have told me that when we go to the city, it's like playing a softball team. There are no Australians to speak on. It's just, foreign born people everywhere. It was not like that when I was it was not like that when I was it's not like that at all. It wasn't like that when I was in university. So, for the most part, Australia is very and parts of Australia you could very comfortably be more crossing your path, except in France but now, because we are culturally rich, we get to have gang violence and stabbing sprees and machete attacks every other day. And now this terrorist inspired by he carried out by Australia 25 years ago, the American Harvard teacher, all this time. It's so great. And this person's son, who was born and raised in Australia, has absolutely no love for Australia or Australians, and would rather terrorize our beaches because who cares about the country that has given you a house to live in, given you food on your table, given you opportunity? Yeah, let's just throw that in everyone's faces. It's so great. These two people are not teachers and for my country and its people, but they thought it was acceptable and okay to roll on down to the beach and kill other people. And through all of this, farmers correctly identifying the issues that appear rather than acknowledging that their celebration in terms of culture and violence and culture simply even after the attention here has been diverted. Australian politicians and incredibly aggressively, like fellow Australians, are attacking other Australians who are pulling this down and going after the handful of politicians who are prepared to pull a spade. And this is the part of all of this that I find most confusing. Why are you prepared to throw away your safety, the safety of others, your cultural identity, your cities, your rights? Why is our ancestry, our heritage, our thrown away? What precisely will keep that this trait? Oh, please shut up. It's a generation that I'm lucky with my do it that way. And I'm sorry that we have to go around this instead of go on this. It's very bad. A lot of people get involved in the safeguarding, but the alternative is what we have now. And what we have now is the Australia that I'm in, the city that I'm in, the world that I'm in, and I think what's worse is that it's been replaced by gutlessness and apathy. Some of you are very much but one of the creatively points of right is that one of the biggest threats to Western civilization is political white. And up until very recently, I probably would have agreed with this, and I think they're wrong. But I would argue that people who are looking worse are people white men, because these people have completely abandoned their duties to and to, I guess, they will sell the rest of us off the street if it means that they can virtue They feel so strongly
God knows she's.
that life is contributing to the downfall of our nuclear agenda. I don't agree with that. I don't know this of the state, so I never really get to the way that I about things. And I also lived in the States for a little while, so I'm really more Americanized in that respect. But I can sort of recognize
哇！咁我俾人報道啊，捉咗。
雞料。
For lack of a better description, pick basically any other non-European-esque European-based country. Korea, India, Middle Eastern countries, I'm counting what's in the world right now. Africans, they're allowed to maintain their cultural identity and their heritage. No one is asking them to demanding them to provide tolerance and be better to foreigners. No one is doing that to any of these places. Western countries, Australia, UK, Canada, America, basically the entire continent of Europe, are being told that we must change. We must accept mass immigration from places that fundamentally do not have a culture even remotely similar. We must accept multiculturalism as this unquestionable good, even if it really makes us us. It feels like there's this absolute requirement that we must reduce ourselves to the extent that we feel like minorities in our own countries and homelands. And I think this is what gets me most, is that we have nowhere else to go. If a migrant comes to one of these countries and they don't like it or doesn't work out, they can always go home. If someone moves to Australia or wherever, and they've ancestral homeland, they can learn.
咁跳咧，就衝埋去3字佢落地嗰時你3字佢哋。
喂。A King 啊！
And they're big people, and I work with they're big people, and I really exist. But I am just so tired and exhausted by the last step on this topic. Being told that mentally is actually well, set up for down the time on board and like that. Wait, I am so tired of being
黐線，
children of us who come to these countries and locate a tiny little bit of evidence, learning language, how to be these ethnic tolerance best described as a we have to be tolerated everything for it and everything for it inclusive to our society and these things out. My God, I was even watching Isaac Rosenberg's video about this issue, this topic, this horrible thing. I really think Isaac he even said in his videos that I have to be careful that how I if I say anything wrong, then I'm going to get basically lambasted by the safety commissioner. Just like, oh, we're not children. We are not fickle. We should be able to have our say.
食個咩話？叮當包。哦好啊，留啲俾我咯。仲少啲套嚟。
There's an expectation that they should do some level of research into the country custom of this. And learn, some of the languages to be able to get by. I really think that's one of the most important for our country and making this something that everyone speaks about in. Anyway, she made the point that if you go to a foreign country and do none of these things, you are more than considered lawful. And not just by people visiting, but also by other people in the country in Europe. But I think the people who act this way abroad are lawful. But for some reason, some inexplicable reason, it is completely fine for foreigners to Western countries and here, work here, and exist here, and do none of these things. None of these things. The language, God, I hear that in Australia where for 30 years I've never learned English. I'm just like,
Get ready for the next battle.
what are you doing? This video is for a while now, and I'm not even to say that that's okay. I'm sure that I have your back to be clear, and I hope this is clear. This is not some involvement. I actually university is by any it's like it's just go away. People
機會老母猶豫一陣啊！
Think about it. I will say, it's worth fighting for. It's so hard. But Chile is bottom line.
屌你老母！
班
屌都輸。
Get ready for the next battle.
你老母考中。
Get ready for the next battle. Round
right now because they say they use generative AI for concept. Actually, so glad this is happening. It's the fact that a lot of these AI are just
你咪食豆沙餅咧？
against AI.
啊，你咪留俾我咧，
They're about what
好啊，
they just don't like AI. That's
What?
it. There's no logic. There's no they just don't like it. They think all AI is active AI that's it's like, oh, that's exactly. Literally everybody uses AI. All the independents have spent the main guy at 30. Because holy guys, not pushing hard for replacing concept artists with AI. We're gonna see the first 7
我屌你老母起上身，係
and they're indeed world-class artists. We use AI tools to explore references just like we use Google and Marketplace. At the very early ideation stages, we use it to outline composition, which replays the original concept art. There is no comparison. I talked about how we use every year who likes to perform. Our creatives for their talent, not for their ability to do it. Best. But they can experiment with those tools to make their lives easier. Obviously, by the way. Of course, that's smart too. Of course. And her black face is like, oh, she's lying. They don't stop. That's how it is. Anyway, but she's probably busy. She'll respond. What tools do you allow them to use? Are you aware that there are no ethical AI implementations that they plagiarize by default? It will never. Here's the thing. It will never be enough for the people that
可能會
hate
啊，
AI. You will never, even if you say it's totally ethical, they don't like AI.
好啊好啊，
That's it. That's it. And I'm glad this is happening because it reveals how irrational they are. Even if the design is done by an artist, but heavily references AI, do you know how this still opens you up to potential liability? No, and neither do you. Because he's not a copyright attorney, and you're not a copyright attorney. You don't know anything about this, but you're just saying it because you want to scare people into being against AI.
Ah,
That's the
did you?
reason why. It's just a
我攞到仆街喎3日。
This is the timestamp from the video. Oh, it's him talking about it. Great, thank you. Okay, we got it. All right, let's take a look at this right
Get
here.
ready for the next
Here
battle.
we go. So this is actually what he said.
走未走晒咁多滯，
AI and machine learning.
Machine learning, which is kind of like a lot of, and you also mentioned earlier, learning kind of like an alarm signal in a lot of people's heads. So what are these kind of mechanisms that you're putting in place? Are they more people focused, or are you doing, what a lot of larger stuff like AI and machine learning? How much of that people be aware of? How you
咁係唔
No, it doesn't. It means AI generated videos. That's the only thing AI is made for. AI steals Pokemon from Nintendo and turns them into gay anime girls. And it's evil.
for us?
We know this. Everybody knows this.
Nobody wants to
But here's the thing, too, is that AI that's being developed in order to automate tasks still includes jobs. Because a job nobody wants is still a job. It's so
啊！屌你老母！
it's that and not him.
邊啊？
It's
喂，個掣做乜撚嘢啊？屌佢老母！都進步。
Everybody would be talking about like all machines are taking everybody's job, and I don't know who even had the industrial revolution if we had social media back then.
Changes the pace and it's just and so to bring it back to your first question, how to do it, dimensional competition, is it there's more time to do things that
Round one.
我唔知。
Fight.
That's the reason why AI is that's the exact reason. It's because it's effective at creating things at scale that people can't do.
That's
又為嗰啲唔同我打，跟住又 spin 翻俾我嗰啲。
All this glitching is all totally normal.
so try to organize
So he's saying that he wants to optimize making content, and people are mad. Yeah.
and then back to the
Undeniable. Obvious.
now you say same next the way that it moves, what we're doing is to have into the theory so separate preparing but then here yeah see
backdash 嚟嘅。
and so what is
most reasonable thing ever. Yeah, this is completely reasonable. That's the end of the question, pretty much. And so, anyway, this is the reason why we're now. Is that he said this a couple of things about AI. And so, hey, so you Baldur's Gate 3, since it's out about that's what this feels like to me, and it still feels icky in my opinion. Oh, God. See, and here is the reason why everybody is mad about the AI. Let me distill it down into the most obvious, transparent, brain-dead, completely predictable reason why. Do you want to know about AI? It's because they want him to pay them to be an artist. That's the reason why. They want to get a job there, and they're worried that some of these people might not get hired. That's it. It's not about whether it's
其實咧，
bad. It's not about whether it's
其實嗰個下段咧減4嘅打中咗，
Get ready for
係啊，你唔好撳掣啦。出完忍下手褪後或者走位啦，減4嘅嗰下。
in order to try to keep themselves in the ability job.
咪咯，突然間出聲啊喂，咪咯。
That's right. Yeah, I did. Okay, so basically, I'll show you the tweet and we'll look at it right here. It's so annoying. It is. It's not social media.
忍手。
Do you think that the majority of the AI, because the majority of it's AI, why are they all retweeting shit based on content? What do you think? He hates AI.
點解啊？唔怪得啊！
好啦，
怪得我解唔到啦。
Not able to even like your tweet because big fucking surprise.
死啦！
But we have someone right here. This is someone that has me blocked, right? Can you believe that? I am blocked. Wow. Yeah. Who is this? Okay. Yep. That's about. Surprise.
安全啊嘛，safe
So,
啊嘛。
we've got another host mad situation.
再打啲我驚佢唔死啊！
Stalkers, my tech fire, telemetry, the last one I tried. I don't even know who this is. Not that I care what ignorant gamers about me.
好啦，
There's an artist who is working there and also condemning the use of AI in that.
我一定做
Those people want to.
咁嘢啦。
People, please read bios before making assumptions. So mad. Look at it. Trying to do this. Stop with this bullshit argument that AI is inevitable. It's not. We've heard the same shit about Netflix and everyone getting COVID. A lot of people did get COVID. All of these things are preventable, not inevitable. And we do have never-ending. We have, this is a girl that thinks that AI is not inevitable. And keep in mind, all the people like this.
踎第二下，你唔知反應啊！
And then the only person that can rely
我打啦，係嘛？你一同我打，
is the retarded friend.
係嘛？你一同我打，幾
She's
好玩啊！
for the next
with
battle.
fucking disorders.
佢覺得唔好玩可能。
Oh, yeah, let's hear all the different ways there's something wrong with you. Anyway, so we've got, I'm serious, these ideas can only exist inside of an echo chamber. They can only exist
定啊！哇，對唔識打嘅呢啊！
these ideas cannot succeed
都遇到幾多隻呢？
at all. Do you think animation is lost Anyway, so this is the person who is leading the hate crusade against Larian. One of the
我
people
打呢，
the Larian ones make it to trust. They're making it to they made all those hate. They ended up like going into that to keep everybody supported. They support the game and all of this. And this stupid fucking bitch is going out there trying to damage their reputation and make them look bad because they use AI that are going on to figure out where they're going to go. That's it. 900. Wait a second.
What?
92,000? It's 2020?
屌佢老母！
Oh God!
我諗擋唔撚車，係咁。
Okay? 53 things. You don't need to worry about AI unless you got an AI doing these tweets. This is crazy. It's a bot? I don't think it's a bot. I really don't think so. I wish it was a bot. But unfortunately, it's not. She got fired because she was tweeting my way. Yeah. And anyway, let's see here. XQA So you did QA, but then I can see why. And anyway, so let's take a look at what she said. Emerald is saying 4 years, I'm not surprised. And
哇，掹線喎，
so
掹線，
a world where this girl
本
was
都地地㗎，做咩掹線啊？
I can think about 50 weeks. I can think of about
分手掹線啊！
why that's
誒，你唔好走得咁突然啦！我想打呢練習下，學下嘢啊嘛！
criticism, well, so do you. And generative AI has no place in our society, especially not making any type of art. Another example of rich studios being cheap. And so anyway, you don't get to generative AI. That's why everybody's putting money into it. Who do you think is smart? The unemployed Twitter geek or every other billionaire in the world? Aw, jeez, guys. I want.
屌你老母又浸啦！
Oh, wow. What a fucking mystery. I believe money. Yeah, we got trillions of dollars going in. We're gonna act like it's a fact. AI's gonna stay in place. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. What a fucking week. Can you imagine working with this bitch?
就踎啊踎啊
So anyway,
踎啊我哋踎！
this is embarrassing. I know it's most likely not the employee's fault. It's not the person shitting management. It's incredibly ironic of Larry and bosses to push an AI themselves as the good studio in a sea of assholes. And AI destroys because people like her want to create this social cost and this social, basically, like a penalty for using AI. The only reason they
屌你老母，
is because
擋唔撚到次次都擋。
they don't care about the copy. They don't care about other things. They care about other things. They care about this salvation because this salvation makes their job.
大家
Their fucking job.
perfect 啊！
So that's it. The entire idea that the world has to stop innovation, technology, all sorts of, any sort of advancements in the have to stop in order to keep your shitty little job on life support. If we still thought like that, would we even have fire? We wouldn't have cars. Because that would put people that make horses out of not make horses, but make horseshoes out of a job. You drive, I walk because I'm a purist. Yeah. Founder Lincoln, by the way, we'll check it out. I don't think
屌你老母！
and, I don't care. Nobody else does either. If they did, she wouldn't be tweeting 50 times a day. So anyway, that's just be honest, right? And so anyway, yeah, take a look at the Longshoremen and Union Port Automation in America. Yeah, of course that's what's happening, right? And what a Bush is normal in every convention. It is normal. It's the same as like I don't know, having take a shit is. It's the same as, you know, getting a backache after you're working on something normal. Yes, there is a like it's not a good thing. Like they're morons. They're morons. And so AI is a bubble. AI is a bubble. Sure, it's definitely a bubble. That's why it's able to detect cancer before a doctor can. Yeah, I'm sure that's a bubble. Absolutely. Using the plagiarism machine time hasn't been like the productivity gains to be hilarious as it wasn't so vile. Normalizing the use of the shit tech, the only goal is to replace devs. And your only goal is to maintain devs. You don't care about the customer. You don't care about the product. You care about maintaining jobs for yourself and your friends. They want to make you pay more money for you to subsidize their jobs because they're trying to stop technology from advancing. That's what they're doing. It's disgusting. They want everybody in the world to pay them more money just for that.
Get ready
Said
for
he was
the
not
next
replacing
battle.
devs. She didn't listen at all. I would have never guessed. What a surprise that a girl that tweets 50 times a day herself is some fucking and then complains about everything constantly on social media. It doesn't to anybody. If she did, she wouldn't be tweeting 50 times a day because people would want to be around her. Nobody tweets 50 times a day and doesn't feel adjusted. Sorry.
Round one. Fight.
What are we talking about? To be honest, you replaced her. W left by Baldwin. I'll buy it twice, not play it twice. I was naive to expect better from him, but to be honest, I should have known better. I actually thought they could believe Gen I hate her. It's her. And if it is, it's happening. But apparently, people are like, I look forward to seeing the rest of it. Big studio from Gen AI. And so anyway, you can see that the only people who are able to trust. See, this is the person that constantly talks about things like this inside their opponent, explain. But you can't lock the comments on your We're going to be talking about you a lot. You want to cry about it, be a victim. Oh, it's so sad. Listen, the amount of bullshit that people do this and do this is so fucking exhausting. It's so might be a hot take, but AI can attack your jobs. I believe it advance so much, replace jobs, eventually healthcare. It's not going to replace everything. AI is, so this is what I think AI is like what happens whenever you go from a hammer. It might go from, and she also hates me. Oh, I know she hates me. I could easily hit because she's
Hey, Paul, see ya, Paul. I'm going to go to one more.
My point is that it's like going from a hammer to a hammer. So obviously that kind of stuff, like, a nail gun is much more effective, right? And like, really produce something like that. You're going to be able to do like way faster, right? Because it's easier. It's not.
講咗，屌你老母！
Oh,
屌你老母！
好。子打呢啲。Last one，打埋呢 game，last game，OK， 好快過嚟。
And this is something that we all know, right? So, in the same way, oh, you're looking through your this bro, you're always going to say, it's like we're completely debilitating humanity. Asshole truly has the worst fucking fans ever. Oh no. Oh wow, that's so sad. Isn't that crazy? And all the right-wing rich fucks about adding this is never about them. Just a couple of sack of shit. This is somebody who picked the play. The thing is that you can't go and criticize and attack a person, and then when they attack you back, okay with your thing.
你懂嘅。
That's not gonna happen. And also, here's another component to it. I don't care. I don't care. You say whatever you want. I don't need to be the good. I just need to get what I want. That's all I want. My goal, and I'll explain what my goal is. I think that these people represent a family and the money. And I think that they are reductive, they're abusive, they're vitriolic, they are aggressive, and they're passive. They push aside and they demonize people who disagree with them. And I just think, in general, they're awful people. So when I see generative AI that is effectively hitting their community like crap, and it's completely decimating them, and it's replacing them and putting them back on DoorDash where they belong, I view this as a gift from God. So it would be sacrilegious for me not to push it and to send as many of these people back to DoorDash. And yet you're going home. They're all going home. And so I view these tools as a way to speedrun, removing these people's influence from popular media, from popular culture, and from any form of position. That's the reason why I support it. It's because it serves a greater goal of removing these people's ability to exercise their viewpoints in a way that I disagree. That's it. One small step. It's a big step. Putting him out of a job is a massive step. You gotta remove the gender. Yes, exactly. And we've already said a lot of what's actually done, but they're all going to that. Every single one. And anyway, let's see here. I saw that you followed. You're a heartless piece of shit. Let's read this. This is it. Oh, right. So this is another sorry you're being annoyed that tens of thousands of people are being killed. Get your priorities straight. So this is another woman who agrees with standing in the road and blocking traffic because you're mad about Palestine. Yeah. But the assholes and bigots are extremely vocal and they feel emboldened by things like Asmongold. This was last year. Think about how bad it is now. And the other losers catering to themselves and making your career better. Yeah.
屌你老母黐線！
How it is really. So this is the person right here who's farming and trying to push all this hate on America. Prepare for 4 years to wait test. I just lost the idea. Unfortunately, expecting the Propagation Studios, they all do. It's pretty clear how you go off the market. Yeah, probably they got replaced by that's what happened. And I'm sorry, but like if you're a QA tester and you're getting replaced by AI, your ability to like benefit a product is equivalent to a robot. Think about what that's like. Yep. And you got all this happening, and you have a studio that's made multiple incredibly great games that is being demonized, slandered. She replied to me. Oh, I mean, I don't know what she did, right? She replied to me. Whatever she did, it's all she did. And so, yep, there we go. Let's see if there's any more that's here. All of this, oh god, not like here. Oh god, isn't it sad? Devs within the industry are trying to cause abuse for everything. It doesn't work right. It's the customer. It's the customer that matters, bro. That's what we're Why is it wrong for a company to chase profits? Because they want the company to get money. That's the reason why. You thought this was some kind of like, thing that might matter a lot, like.
Yeah.
All they want to do is create an ecosystem where people feel like they have to hire them. That's literally it. There's no, principle or philosophy or anything like that. So yeah, there you go. I would replace her with a less qualified person just because she's so unpleasant. It's really funny. That's probably what happened. And, that's too bad. And now she's on Twitter. So you don't have to read bullshit. So, anyway, I'd like to say that I don't use LM. Another big surprise. there isn't a single ethical model on the commercial market anyone can use without liability. So long as probability markets are in use, you're going to end up with a lot of quality control problems and more expense. Thank you so much for your.
Thank you so much for you.
Release multiple Game of the Year candidates and release the most anticipated trailer after the Game Awards. Yeah, you know what? You know better than they do. Absolutely, of course. That's worth valid. All your attention to good people are
屌你老母啊！
I hope we last few hours of taking this to your upper end and using it to find
屌你老母得撚啊鳩咁，又俾佢追撚到晒，屌你老母臭係啲招全部都係咁樣。
拜拜。
拜。
嗰個
it's really pretty obvious. So anyway, humor factors is a good deal. Yeah. And Robert, you don't need a shovel to dig a hole. That drawn up 40 dragon iterations, and I can just 40 iterations on one dragon. Yeah, it's just dumb. Well, the reason why AI for your A that's using AI in your name, duplicitous otherwise, entire history of creative industry happened just fine without AI. Man. Every single one. I am public. Pose bad. So, guys, nothing that you can do, nothing that you can tweet, nothing. All will go nowhere. AI is going to happen, and it's going to play. And the funny thing is, I bet these people have been arguing with AI bots in the comments anyway. So, if you're using generative AI, what the hell makes you artists don't deserve the same respect as actors and writers? What? But they said they hired people. It's actually an enhancement artist. I can't believe this level of hysteria. The reason why data centers are literally. Oh God! So let's go ahead and go down this. So somebody's complaining about AI. Somebody else replaces it like, oh, it's just artists. Someone goes, data centers are literally poisoning our air. And then she's putting her in between. It's about prioritizing yourself and not having to. You're doing a public service. I really appreciate it. That's 9 copies of Baldur's Gate 3, and they can't afford to pay a few more concept artists. Grumpy American cartoons. Self-referential. Completely
Get ready
self-serving.
for the next battle.
Of course. Of course, this is. You want them to pay more art because you're afraid of it. They should be. And I don't know what else to say. But, yeah, it's crazy. Got Pepper Isle, grab one. He does extremely good art, and he has a good consulting now. He ship profession. I mean, I hope so, right? Hopefully he does. But anyway, as a beautiful conversation, references, self-referencing, inbred. Oh boy, and either way, Larry communicated this poorly. Again, I'm very glad that Larian is open now about using AI. I think that this is obviously the beginning of these people realizing that they have lost. They have completely lost. There's not any way. I don't know why I'm not following this guy. I know him. And I created this how he breaks the internet. So let's look at this here. We've hired creatives for their talent, not for their ability to do what a machine suggests, but they can experiment with these tools to make their lives easier. I hate to break it to the internet, but I'm fairly certain that all studios are doing this exactly. They're just not telling you. Larry is at least giving these tools to their devs as a aid, if needed, versus straight up replacing them, which I can guarantee all upcoming EA, Microsoft, Ubisoft, Activision, replace the devs. Welcome to 2025. Oh my god. These anti-AI people are the same ones that gave us Nailguard? Absolutely right. Without a doubt, 100%. NVIDIA and AMD both use AI to render graphics. If you use a PC that's using AI, they don't care about AI. They care about generative AI to make pictures because they make pictures of the raw. That's all it is. That's the, why do you think they're not complaining about 50 other ways of machine learning and technology that's done it? It's just that simple. Jesus, how many times do I have to say? I've said it 50 times, honestly. So anyway, that's basically it. You've got everybody mad about this. The entire really, wow. That's it. That's the fun part. Part of which I'm hiring job was. You have a bunch of creative people mad about this, but it's just never going to happen. And again, the AI shit is so oh man. Here's what's going to happen. Every single company is going to use AI. You have two choices. Embrace it or consume no media. And if you're on Twitter tweeting 50 times a day,
好靚佬冇乜懶咯。
you're going to buy a new game. Now, complain about it on
屌你老母垃圾！
you're going to crying about AI tools to dance. These people are crying about AI tools to scan CT images for fractures and there it is. And you'd be surprised by that. So, yes, I'm going to say to yourself, playing with regular speeds, that same method you think not to. Yeah, of course, right there. Yeah, hold your step back by not using tools, you'll be defeated by people wrong. You should have paid, created, every other company is going to do this. And even if Larian, here's what's funny, is that even if Larian apologizes and they say they're not going to use generative AI, they're still going to use generative AI. They're probably just going to tell you not to take the stuff in the middle. That's it. And I think at a certain point, it's just going to become so ubiquitous to everything. And we're already reaching that point.
Final round. Fight.
都喺度。
AI should replace boilerplate actions and creativity output reduced. You decided that you created the the process and you don't emphasize it. And that would be the process has to follow the order that you've invented in your own mind. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so, buddy. That's not the way it works. What do you mean? That's what he said. Yeah, exactly. And Tracy,
Yeah.
you think the anti-hate? I think that you could do a diagram things as well as AI content, generative AI development that the industry has for years to explore ideas. Yeah, exactly. The final game AI. Exactly. The people don't care. This is the problem. The problem is that they don't
Đó là mẹ đây đi.
Get ready for the
ideas
next
concept
Nó quen à.
of AI.
Ồ,正rồi.
You don't know how to develop
Quả
ideas.
mẹ phi liệu à?
It's fine.
係啊係啊。
正rồi.
Yeah, she's calling you an idiot. Yeah, in what world is generative AI in the place to be? Well, in the space that people created and use it, obviously. You see what that could get? No, I didn't see that at all. Only why AI is bad. So yeah, anyway, this is what's happening. But it's also inevitable. And so, millionaires, yeah. And creativity is only when people do it like I want them to. If they're doing it any other way, they're not creative.
Get ready
Yeah,
for the
exactly,
next
right?
battle.
You can only be creative in the ways that I agree with. And if you're not doing that, then you're not being creative. Yeah.
好，威力尽量还在地上，
Round
小孩子听手。
保洁6中轻松哦。重拳卡 Token. So we had an event yesterday. It's the Saudi Arabia Esports World Cup. Now, there were a lot of sponsored to watch.
fight.
哦，厉害，單都確飯，屌你老母！
Lên binh nè, ba anh đây. Ok nè. Để lên. Rồi luôn.你上次玩咩啫嘛？攞打一陣。我係啊，你本身都唔玩攞嘅。
嚇屌老母！哎呀嘢！
哦，係咯，你好好玩啊！呢個都好玩喎，我覺得。係啊，誒幾得意嘅佢啲招。
啊屌你老母啲智障！黐撚線！ 咩？咩啊？你真嚟㗎？嗱，你唔開 screen 啊？我睇唔到你一個 Discord 入面啊！你哦，
Round one.
嗯，
Fight.
好。
Yeah. But these two fucking dummies don't know that. Apologies, fucking dummies. There's 20 of them. This is a little boss.
Say my.
Get ready for the next battle.
Do I watch basketball? Netball? No, I do not watch basketball, but I'm sure it's terrific. I'm a big supporter of the local team. I go well, I'm shocked. Probably can't tell my expression, but I can't believe the shot there. I said fucking. Excellent question. What do you think? Brett? What age are you, Brett? I'm the Morgenhausen's Psychology of Money. It's a brilliant piece of literature. Great book about the psychology of money. Was brought out by a guy with a zero. I struggle to become his name. Why not? Aim for the mountain. No. I should not be playing. I'm broke. I think love is incredible. All the weekend is in one 48 section.
你勁啊！嗱，
唔好話你啊，我都會啊，打打下頂，突然間彈機，我以為對面 rage quit，屌原來係我自己同事仆街。哎呀，
Get ready for the next battle.
你諗下我打 quick match 或者 group match 冇理由 rage quit 啦，因為我諗對面應該唔會 rage quit 啦，屌原來係我自己斷線。哦，我衰吧。你留翻嚟洗碗先。
Well, opening I could let people have all recent Red led them to dropping 2 new models in 2 weeks. With that recent success of Gemini 3, OpenAI needed to release 5.2 with these remaining close with probably later and kind of took the world by storm. That group was still hot. I needed to answer once again. This time with they dropped
玩嘢，黐線。
I did not get the accent. Oh, I wasn't even expecting this policy to release this. Play with, be excited about the 3 weeks, and then inevitably. I held off on until the video. Now that we've got it, I'm excited to dig in. But before we demo it, here's what it is. Here's like all the new model called GPT 1.5, and it officially replaces their previous image. Now the old one isn't but it's going to be more complicated. It's still available if you want it, but now it is a classic machine. It's like the GPT section. Moving forward, this new model is going to be now from a performance standpoint, I said it's generate images up to 4 times faster. And honestly, faster generation can change how often people actually use these. And if you're developing API costs for both image inputs and outputs are about 20% cheaper compared to the previous one model. Now, as far as the ability goes, this is rolling out today, right now, as of December 6th. All ChatGPT users and API. Alongside the new model, OpenAI also rolled out a brand new images experience inside of ChatGPT. Integration is no longer just a side thing. It's actually becoming a feature. Inside the images, add visual styles
without writing complex prompts. So things like pop-up, sugarcoating, and deep
屌你老母！
doll, sketch, slushy, toodle. This is OpenAI very clearly optimizing the mobile computer just one style and one ChatGPT to help them come up with without becoming complicated. Which also has a cool discovery feature that suggests trending things people are actually things like holiday calendars, putting themselves in the famous painting, or just moving people from the background of photos. So anyone that doesn't know what to create, it's pretty cool to have something like this that goes off all the ways. One of the more interesting features is something OpenAI is calling likeness retention. You can do a one-time teaching ChatGPT what you look like, and then reuse that appearance across future image generations without needing to re-upload photos. So it kind of seems like a similar idea to the feature previously known as Cameo inside of Sora, but the image version. Now, if you read the news article yourself and see that feature that I just mentioned, OpenAI is holding everything here. Let me show you. If I come to the chat news article here and play down, there's down right prompts in here in this detail. We actually read the prompts that it gave inside of this like little news article. This is talking about dedicated image series. But you can see here, this is preset filters and trending prompts with jumpstart integration, as well as one-time canvas. So you can reuse your appearance across future creations without the need to go to your camera. Yeah, this isn't mentioned anywhere in their photographic creation prompts either. So yeah, I actually didn't see this feature rolled out in my account yet, but it seems like this would save it. Another small quality of life is that you can be generating new images while others are still processed. So you're no longer locked into getting one generation finished before final round. Again, this sounds pretty minor. Improve how usable this feels. I know. Model and GPT image 1.5 is significantly better at precise. You can add elements, remove elements, find images, styles, and transpose objects while preserving lighting, composition, and light. OpenAI actually shows a pretty wild example on their blog post where they start thousands of those like anime and plushie, change outfits, and then eventually remove the men entirely, leaving just the dog streaming the song. And this kind of multi-step editing fall apart halfway through, but now it continues to remember the content. Instruction following is also supposed to improve. One of the tests that OpenAI highlighted is 6x6 each cell contains a very specific that placed it in an exact row and column. Data all correct. Now, if you ever tried to do something, is another big upgrade. The model can handle the text and OpenAI shows photorealistic newspaper that contains an entire marked up article format. A massive improvement in things like mock-up, marketing assets, UI concept, product shop.
我屌你老母！嗰一
I've been using Webflow for the past 3 years to design, manage, and scale. And it's grown into this massive direct doesn't just actually faster, clearer, I ran an audit this is different. Honestly, running the content as well, the power of AI analysis
咁到仔。
Faces are another area that's applied to your image. So GPT image 1.5 is just like all faces without things getting weird and like a whole bunch of other AI show focus cloud and less eyes. New model also does a much better job of preserving logos and which is now, OpenAI is still very clear in this blog post that this model is not. They do say inaccuracy even showed like a deep post, for example, that's only about 70%. So it's still a creative tool, not necessarily a source of truth. If you have to make an image for you, double check the facts in the image. Alright, so enough talking about it. I have not tested this model yet, so let's see what this thing was getting. Alright, so for my first test, I wanted to test image editing and throw a bunch of edits on the image. So I uploaded this image here. If you're a real OG and you've been following me for a long time, know that this is actually the first image but anyway, this, so I get I'm the one with the Padres shirt. I'm picture image that had subtle neon lighting behind me. Do not change my facial expression. As a reminder, this will be. Here's what it meant for me. The new people next. But we can keep the jacket, kept my facial expression the same, added a purple versus image again. This one. I asked it to move the person right, so I was expecting it to show here for the middle, but it
Teasing gum.
First banana, I gave it the exact same identical prompt, and this is what it generated. So it changed my pose quite a bit. You know, it was supposed to keep my face pose lighting back exactly the same. But I do have a leather jacket. There's a slight reflection of this is really a neon purple glow. It's more like a purple light shining on me from the side. Pretty good. I have to say this is the end of a draw. This one definitely changed up my pose and facial expression. I also think my face looks a lot like AI here, but it didn't. The other gave me the purple glow, kept my same pose, kept the background for the most part. They both got the steps right, but also messed up. So GPT definitely has less of that AI. So next one I want to test like multi-step editing, where I get one image, tell it to change one thing, and then continue to tell it to change one thing with each subsequent prompt, and hopefully it maintains consistency across all of these prompts. So I'm starting by feeding it this image of a family at a dinner that looks like a 5-year-old who has a right in front of her, but just ignore that. And with my first prompt, I'm telling it to turn the ceiling here's our output image, and it's got a family out the window, which we want to do this one. 18 years, keeping relationship and positions the same. Another thing I'm noticing before I even hit submit on this prompt is that in this one he was holding up the and in this one he was holding up. So it changed the image outside. No, but anyway, let's go ahead and see. It does look like they aged out. So here's the original image. Notice the girl doesn't change at all, but the mom, the dad, and the son, they definitely seem like they aged out. Apparently, this girl, she changed the style, changed the visual style that it looks like it. Creation sketch. Let's have it. So now we've got cabin here, one last edit, everyone except one person is that on the tape, still in the same lane camera angle. Here's our final image. One man's by him. See how well. This was the original image. The image had its snow in the background. Two little things changed, like weapons, the shells, spots. We aged everybody up 15 years. Change it. Oil painted. And then we finally everybody else was left with not getting but of course I wanted to test the exact same identical prompts and until the same initial image, same initial snow in the scene, it seemed to have removed less things to reach the projection. And I feel like it could really make consistency a lot better to check. It kind of totally changed the snow in the background. When I went to age everybody up by 50, did the same the other age off. And even the dog had gray hair. There's stuff. Here's the girl in the original one. Here's the dog in the original one. You can see it definitely aged up the girl here, but within that 15 years, change the visual style. Oil painting. Kitchen with a cabin interior. And then finally, when we person along here, the room went back from being a cabin to being a kitchen, so it sort of lost the plot. It's no longer a cabin, it's no longer oil painting. It almost took the original image and removed everybody from that image being just on, but it's sort of lost all the other prompts. So ChatGPT definitely does a better job of remembering the previous prompts and remembering the previous steps that got us the image. But Nano Banana definitely seems to maintain consistency a little bit better, where it's not actually changing a lot of things in the image other than what you asked it to. So once again, they both have pros and cons. I still think Nano Banana might be a little bit better, but ChatGPT context of each next image in line. Next up, I want to test the facial reasoning and kind of recreate a little grid testing in the blog post. So I said, read a white canvas divided into uneven right. Like box gave me well, 10 boxes instead of 9. That's one sort of. Let's see how well it can be tested. So 9 uneven rectangles that made 10. Top left, you copy, right, you fold it, see. Center left, pair of headphones, to the right, the light bulb, bottom, notebook. Each object must fully in its rectangle and not overlap any border. Well, so pretty decent, but it is confusing instructions. Carries to Gemini, okay. And here's what it generated. 1, 3, 4, 8, 1. For whatever reason, it also generated -9. But looking at our prompt here, on the left, so you have copy, right, left, center right, light bulb, bottom center, 8 red, notebook, and it kept everything within the lines. I mean, I actually feel like Nano Banana followed the instructions slightly better than stayed within the lines. It took the magazine layout portion literally and made it look like a magazine. I gotta get the extra Nano.
What kind of motion is something that has
hero? So I gave it a prompt in a photorealistic image of a laptop on the desk, browser on the screen display of product price a large bold title, a small footnote with an asterisk, currency table with at least 3 rows, fine print legal text at the bottom. All text must be read properly. Here's what we got from our price indexing page. We've got our small display that has 3 columns, and all of our text is legible and readable. Not actually seeing any errors in text. So the disclaimer prices are in USD, additional terms and conditions apply, cancel any time. Review our terms of service and privacy policy. Honestly, ChatGPT nailed this. Let's compare it to what Nano Banana does. And here's what it gave us. What is software? Speed pricing, prices of annually, monthly, optional, available. It's a little fuzzy, but it's readable. We do have a disclaimer down here. It's a little too blurry for my eyes to make out what I think is ChatGPT definitely did that. You can see that the text is trying to get resolution. Let me download the Alright, so when I download the full size of the chocolate Nano Banana on the website, it actually did a fairly decent job. You can see how much the URL bar. It's like upscaled text, so it's like text that they upscaled. This is kind of like you can actually make out what it sounds. Makes sense. So, Ultimate Soccer Inc. Alright reserved. Service and pricing policy apply. Prices subject to change with taxes. Did a good job. Yeah, they both did a pretty good job. I think the ChatGPT text is a little more readable, a little more legible than the other one, but I can't complain with it. So I wanted to test this like cross-era identity thing, so I uploaded this silly image of myself, and I said transform the uploaded photo of a person with 3 side-by-side pictures. Version 1 meaning portrait photography. Version 3 modern cinematic films keep the same facial structure, head angle, and compression across all 3, and this is what it generated. This is our this is our 80s photo studio, and this is our cinematic. And yeah, I did a pretty good job comparing Nano Banana with the This is interesting. It gave us 3 photos, Renaissance, 80s, cinematic, but it sort of stylized
What guy you're doing?
We're going to try to like cut out each image and use it couldn't even this ChatGPT, let's give this now they did mention that you should be able to create tons and tons of people in an image without them getting wonky, so I gave it including dense crowd or some people in trains. Consider each patient to be proportionally expressive with no distortions or repeated faces. And here's what we got out of that. Now, none of them are looking at the whether or not repeated faces, but it does look like a bunch of
next battle.
Some cheering, some phones. Now, comparing this to Gemini, exact same prompt. Here's what Gemini created. I actually think the Gemini version looks more realistic. This looks like a photo at a concert where it's one. I don't know. It's got some AI. So definitely got to give this one the name. And then finally, I wanted to test how this would work with like brand and keeping logos consistent. That was one thing they mentioned this new model would do. So create a minimalist brand system for a fictional copy company called M, generate 3 images: a storefront sign, a wake up, bag of coffee. So use the same logo, color palette, and photography across all 3 images without variation, and it created 1 image with all 3 of those. We've got our storefront sign, our takeaway cup, and our coffee bag, and all the logos will look identical, branding and colors are the same. Good job on this. Gemini, once again, the exact same prompt, and it actually generated it as 3 separate images. Interesting. So we this it's just an honest storefront. We are taking we look at the logo, it looks to be the same logo, and here's our bag. I would give this a 2. I'd say this. Alright, so that's what I got for you today. We got a brand new image model out of ChatGPT and OpenAI, and it's pretty good. If I had to say which one was better between Nano Banana and ChatGPT, I think it was slightly more with Nano Banana, but ChatGPT is catching up. I don't feel like Nano Banana, when you're editing images, do a better job at giving GPT-1 images or GPTs. Change. But overall, they're pretty good, and as we like to say, with space, first hits that we're going to make, and I just love it. We have one for the holidays, so all of us should have a sit down and toys. Hey, we got a new toy today. Toys back. So if you like videos like this and find out about AI, you want to see to this channel, and I will make sure more stuff like this shows up in your YouTube feed, and that you can on YouTube latest advancements in let's go. Faces around sharing. So I like that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and hopefully so much for nerding out today. Banana Pro is the best image creation and editing model we've seen. Google's as well. These two models alone can do insane things, and I've done deep dives on them in recent videos. But in this video, I'll be sharing 9 more right now at no cost. I'm going to skip over some of the obvious ones, because I've already made it on a video. These are the tools that I actually play with pretty often myself, and that have really great free features. So let's dig in.
Get ready for the next battle.
Number 1, Whisper Flow. Typing everything out, there's your way. Standard dictation isn't always the best. It often skips formatting and doesn't fix your mistakes. WhisperFlow is kind of what dictation should be. It uses advanced AI speech-to-text models to capture what you say. Free version is generous as well, and it lets you just talk instead of watch how fast this is. I'm just going to scramble a bit with some technical from hey, I need to extract some email. Also, if you ever face that issue with CSS devices, if you look at that, it's got perfect punctuation. And it's faster than I can type. Use it for free, 2,000 words per week. And from here on out in this video, that's what I'm going to use to type my prompts. Type my prompts. Tool number 2 is the comic browser, which is actually my new default browser. All have to be kind of chaotic. Comic browser is trying to do by making into the browser experience. Instead of switching to Apple application, it takes an application that lets you interact with the page directly. The free version actually gives you access to all of these on-page AI tools. Well, okay, I'm on massive mechanics here, and anything about this specific page. Let's go down to the chat bar here, and using WhisperFlow, I'm going to say, explain this bullet points and use simple language that a 10-year-old can understand. There we go. It read the article and then translated it. This is recent. Check this out. It actually has a perfect with reading an article. Quantum mechanics article. Idea one. Page about the basics. It's pretty open tab. Find a similar concept. Here we go. We got a nice breakdown of the overlapping concept. Finance, nature, enabler, impact, yeah, recent, like the deep dive on top. Kind of obsessed with this one, honestly. It's probably my favorite on this entire world. Anyone who has to deal with documents. This thing is a game changer. You upload documents, it becomes an expert on only those documents, and the free notebooks with one source. Long, dense manual for my I'm right here, 557 pages long. And I'm going to toss it into the notebook and I'll let you find it. The manual with specific questions, like manual video. There's no step of how where I can go, change settings, citations. What you need to do? That step with the manual. The real magic feature that pretty much everyone's obsessed with, right? Is the audio overview feature. Right here. This feature takes you and creativity, podcast, just a second.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, a place where we skip the obvious setup guides.
Today we are doing a deep dive into the health guide for the IOE specifically for firmware version 2 and later.
Alright, so number 4 is anything, aka Sam. Just tell it what you want to track and it follows that object across the entire view. Now there are two main ways to use SIM with interest in a variety of templates, or you can spend it describe. So let's try the template route. It's all these different templates. Titles here like Paul and Bounding Box are all very popular videos. There's also the blur background effect, or even pop-up spotlight you can put on specific objects. All you do is pick the one you like and click template. Then you select or upload the video you want. Template is applied. Once it's applied, you'll customize it so you can swap. Let's change the way or control. First, you upload your own video for the Instagram reel.